What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am Oprelia, and you're watching my third episode on my Seedance educational series. Previously, we went through the basics and storyboarding. Today, we're going to be learning and mastering video references, which have become explicitly very popular within the last week or so, ever since we basically discovered Blender. So in Blender, you can basically create very simple voxel models or a voxel set of like a room. It maybe is a boardroom, castle, cathedral, or something more complex. And basically, inside the Blender, you can also create a scene where characters move into a certain direction, and then you can capture that scene with cameras inside the Blender. And why this is such a powerful thing is simply because Blender gives you a lot of control over the actual camera, which Seedance does not do. The problem with Seedance is its fundamental weakness on spatial understanding. Even if you are using very explicit, very precise text and also storyboards, it will still get a lot of things wrong in a spatial sense. Maybe there's a chase out scene, maybe there's a scene where there's a round table which has 10 characters. It can get messy very, very easily. It will not understand where every single character is basically positioned. And throughout Blender and other types of tools, which I'm going to be showing you here today, basically allows you to give a lot more powerful control over your scenes. And it's something that you definitely want to utilize, especially with 2.0. 2.5 is coming obviously very, very soon, and it might have a lot more control over our scenes. But fundamentally, Blender is a very, very powerful tool to basically create a lot more accurate stable scenes and also movement that we might actually going for. So let me show you a couple of different examples that I did here today. So here is our video reference over, which I took from YouTube. Somebody had made a cool boxing scene, very good movements. It's just that the models are not looking very, very great. Special effects are not super good here. And of course, I think this is like 480p. So this is what the prompt would look like. We would basically feed it two different image references. And usually you need to depict the style. So even if the video reference is anime, 3D, CGI, realism, you can skin it over. It doesn't matter what style it is. You can change it. Obviously, the reference always should be 3D more. I think that's always better. So we have described 60 FPS, CGI realism, Unreal Engine, stuff like that. And it's also kickboxing. Then you can also alter out the background. This one has no background. The simple the video reference is, the better and easier it is to change it. So I want to say this is fighting arena in Bangkok. And then we're going to be doing, this is the key prompt here. Follow the camera motion of video 1, but replace the two characters with references 2. You can say camera and motion and action and music, but this is very important to follow the camera motion, but then you can also add asterisk saying, but do not copy the style of video 1. And here I have the same prompt here, follow the video 1 motion, camera work, and FX perfectly, but the art style is different. Sometimes you want to paste it a couple of times over. It's not always following you the way you want it to. And there is a fail rate with video references where it's just showing you the old video instead and nothing has changes. And then also I have added out a bit of an extra ending here as so that was very perfect style of a shot. It has a different ending here because I said it's celebrating a victory, so it's not doing one-to-one, and that's definitely fine. It doesn't need to do one-to-one. And this turned to me, I mean, just the dynamism with these new models, it just makes it really good. Like this would be a fighting scene I could add into a short film or something. So you don't always need to use in every single shot video references, but in times like these, when you want to might make something really cool, I think this is a perfect example of using video references, especially on the fights. Because the thing is with Seedance, if you are not using like image references as like storyboards, it tends to have always the same style of fighting prompts, depending on weapons and all that sort of stuff. But it's things that it usually does with swords, especially. Now here is another example, very simple thing. We have, this is our initial thing here. cool click sound here. And this was 1:1 resolution. I did the same. I used this sort of a Itachi new redesign of the character because it has 6 wings. Okay, I added 6 wings too. The prompt is basically the same as we just did before, a lot more simpler. And here is our end result. I mean, that's just perfect. Now, the cool part is that even though the initial video reference is 1:1, or in this case, it was 10 seconds, that does not prevent us from actually extending it over. So here I have now done this in 16:9 instead of 1:1. And I also added out the first 10 seconds, which is the length of the video. You're going to follow in the motion exactly. And then the remaining 5 seconds is going to be doing something else. So here's our version number 2. So that was pretty cool, right? Because you have the ability to extend it. It even extended the music, which was interesting. And that's just like one ability. You can start with just a 3-second video reference. I usually don't recommend using multiple video references. Not that I have tried them out too much. It could be interesting. Now, one thing I probably should have mentioned in the beginning, as you can see from all the references that I have posted here and showed you today, is that there is no actual cuts. So what I mean is that when you are using video references, they should be continuous shots, not multi-scene shots. When you do multi-scenes, it just follows until the first cut happens, and then it just becomes wonky donkey. So it's really continuous shots that you really want to use as video reference. Everything else just kind of alters really badly, and I don't recommend it. Now, let's go into a bit of the Blender stuff. Now, there's actually, luckily, a nice loophole here. You can use ChatGPT or another tool to basically create out a voxel world where you can basically navigate and do your own camera work. So I'm going to post this HTML file on my Discord, on my new AI Discord, where everybody can come to network, share their work, and, find jobs maybe even in the future. And what we have here is this is the end result. So I basically created out. This takes 2 minutes in ChatGPT, and it just creates out like a voxel world. You can do something specific. You can always redo it every time you want. And what I just did is that I asked it to create keyframes. So it allows me to basically do the things. I think it's L button. So this is the keyframes that I've created here. And this is the movement we're going to be doing. So this is something I already pre-recorded this. This is the motion that we're doing. So this is the city shot. So maybe you're doing this some like an intro thing. This is not very cool or anything like that. This is an actual just a tech demo, and you can clear keys, and you can, I think I put it into K, so I can put keyframes here, whatever I want, and I just can put up like different keyframes, and this is how it will look like the motion of it. Lower the keyframes, probably the better, but this is like a one camera movement that you can do. And so you don't need to install Blender. You can do this too. This is like one way to do city shots because cities look kind of the same and you just have a lot of freedom on doing it other way. Now, here we have already video reference here, and I'm just going to be typing in style 90s OVA anime style, follow video 1 reference in terms of motion and camera, but remove the blue dots, ignore them. So there might be sometimes things you have to like specify. What you can do probably also is just put it into another video editor, and if you wanted to really process it, if you had the prompts or the credits, you could put Gemini on my Flash, which I got a review soon for you guys. Basically just put the video there and just tell it to remove all the blue dots to get a better motion shot, but this works fine, it's fine. And then we're going to be going into Mid-Journey. I already have prompted out a couple of different city shots. I think this one would be quite interesting. Actually, let's go with this one. And the background is a rainy gothic anime city at night. And then we're going to be using the image reference. We're going to make this video is 12 seconds long. We can make it 12 seconds. It doesn't need to be any more longer. Okay, here's our end result. So here's attempt number 1. And as we can see, it kind of starts out as our video, but then it does like something completely different. So this didn't turn out to be that good. And that's why kind of reference images are kind of important. Here's attempt number 2. It actually kind of goes into this sort of a city block, but it just goes straight forward. It actually has no following of our motion. Then I decided that, hey, I'm going to be changing the prompt a bit. So I edited a bit, and there's basically an extra line, which basically is saying the same thing. Video 1 dictates the camera movement and motion. So just like repeating the same thing, this usually works or sometimes works. And this turned out to be a bit better than our first 2 attempts, but once again, it's kind of like doing its own thing. It's starting out the same way, but then it's like deviating there to do something completely different. But hey, this is a okay shot. Then in these types of situations, you just have to change the way you work. So what you can do is you can take any type of source video, and this is how I usually do my like neural filtering style videos, is that I take out the first frame of the video and then I put it into ChatGPT or Nano Banana and say, okay, we gotta reskin this shot into X style, okay? And this is our end result. The buildings are actually in the same positions as the blocks. It kind of added a couple of extra things here, but I didn't care about it. And then I said, okay, starting frame and the art style is image 1. And the video stuff is the same as before, but basically this is now different. And here's our first attempt. Once again, it kind of starts out the same way, but then it starts to do something different. Here we have a blue smoke, which is probably coming from the balls. So this kind of indicates that maybe our source video was not really good. Like these blue dots coming out here on the screen are actually not helping, and these probably, I should have just put this video in and just say remove the blue dots from the video, and it probably would have given us better end results. So your videos are always going to be good as your sources, and it's just the fact that sometimes the AI will not follow your guidelines. Now I heard that Seedance 2.5 is going to be following them a lot more closely in terms of your text and maybe even video references. So these types of problems may not exist on the newer model. Then lastly, we had our fast try on Seedance 2.0 fast, and this actually turned out to be the most closest thing to what we were going for. It's not exactly following it one to one. The start is kind of the same, and the ending is also, it's kind of turning around to right a bit, but it's also rotating upwards. So it's probably the closest thing ever, and this is probably like a pretty good shot. Like, okay, I don't like the art style here, but this could be like a good opening shot for a movie or something like that if there was more things going on here, like people moving cars and stuff like that. But fundamentally, this would be good. So yeah, the frame technique usually gives you better results. It depends really on the motion. So as I said in the beginning when we were looking at these other files, the frame basically stays the same here, and the whole shot is not giving like new grounds. In this video reference that we have here, it's going into a different location, which means that it's like I talked about in the beginning. When you do multi cuts, it's going to collapse on that. And that's probably one of the reasons it's showing a lot of different things from the starting frame into the end frame. There's a lot of new stuff and it can't render all of that. And that's probably why a lot of the results ended up being that. Now, lastly, in case you don't have access to a computer, you can also use any type of real life footage, and you just have to be creative about it. So here's something I found on YouTube. There's a toy raptor. I've seen some toy references. That's where I got the idea. And you can just say, hey, remove the watermark and change this into anime and remove the backgrounds and change all that. And here is actually our end result, and this turned out to be perfect. This is exactly the same movement. The backgrounds have been changed. There's no watermark. Okay, there's a weird dinosaur there standing like a statue, but actually in the original there was something standing there as well. So, but this turned out to be perfect, basically following our rules. So the motion is just very easy to take over from any type of a source footage that you're working with. It can be from a movie, it can be somebody's sketch art or something. Obviously, that can be broken copyrights, just saying to you, but if you mask it properly, nobody's gonna really notice. It's just really hard to find that type of thing because you can edit it so much over and over again. And that's basically what I have to share with you. There's also one technique which I did not really mention because it's something that I did talk about in a previous video. But you can take also existing videos like this and put it as a reference. And then you can add like an image on top of it, which shows like a sunlight or something. And you can just type in, take out the color brightness or take out the lighting of this image and apply it into the video. So this video would be shown in a different type of lighting instead. Those are harder to do, but it's also another way to basically edit it further. And it's kind of expensive to obviously do the video over and over again if you don't have an unlimited plan. But thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more, guys, by subscribing, liking. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. Of course, we have our AI Discord community. And in case you are interested in the actual Voxel World HTML file, I have basically posted it into my actual Discord. So in case you're interested. Thanks for watching. I will be seeing you next time.